I camped on a hops farm brewery last night, and it got me inspired to do the unboxing for the TrailKeg. So that is exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. Do unboxing, initial thoughts, first use, and then final thoughts, covering everything there is to know about the TrailKeg. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you stick around because we're going to cover a lot. Before we get into this, full disclosure, this was sent to me by TrailKeg to do the unboxing and the review, but I am not required to say anything specific or give any specific kinds of reviews. So this is an honest thought, but shout out to them for sending it and for trusting their product enough to send to someone to be reviewed. So I'm going to bring you over here and we're going to start unboxing this and see what's inside. So because this was being sent to me, I did do some research, so I have a general idea of what should be in here and how it should be used, but I have not used it yet. So we will see how that goes, as well as review the packaging. First thing you get is your TrailKeg instructions, which, unlike most manuals, this is actually really nice. It looks good, it feels good. I'm assuming that's because they assume you're probably going to need to use this more than once. It's not the most simple product ever, so I'm assuming they're thinking you're going to need to keep this. And they have a couple recipes in here too, which is cool. First thing out, as well as a You Matter to Us little pamphlet. Companies, these go such a far way. Some people throw them out, don't even look at them. Other people, it actually makes a big difference. I love that you guys added this in there. It's a little touch. It cannot cost companies that much money to actually do this. And the people that it matters to, it really matters to. So, TrailKeg, thank you for thanking us, I guess. All right. So this is the gallon jug. Here's our cap. We're gonna start pulling out our tap, our handle for the tap. So I'm not overly familiar with keg setups in general, so whatever thing you see is actually me doing it. I'm going to leave all of this stuff in the video. It might make it a little bit longer, a little bit slower, but it'll give you a more realistic expectation for what to expect if you're new like I am. So we have the tap, we have the cap. Next thing we have is the CO2 regulator. You can see that. So everything on here has quick disconnects, so you can use it, take it off, pressurize your keg, and move on to the next part. Oh. So I got the gallon, and I probably should have known that it was going to be big, but that's actually much bigger than I anticipated. I do really like this. That feels really good. So basically, to sum up what TrailKeg has going on here is you have a double-walled growler that comes in both half gallon and gallons. This is the gallon, just to have a size comparison. It comes with a pressurized lid that is used for the whole contraption, as well as a normal lid that you can use if you just want to use this as a water bottle or to carry normal drinks. So, but this thing looks sweet, man. I'm going to be fully honest. I was very torn between asking for the black one and going for silver. I left it up to them. They sent me the silver. I'm not mad about it. Yeah, I'm not mad about it at all. This actually looks really, really nice. I'm thinking it might fingerprint a little bit, but I'm sure the black one would have too. You might just not see it as much. But yeah. Unfortunately, the sticky glue of the packaging is right in the middle of the TrailKeg logo. which is a little inconvenient, but not a huge deal. Now, of course, that's the only logo we got on here, so we gotta make it a little nicer. All right, so when I took the cardboard wrap off, there was an adhesive that was right in the middle of the logo, so I just cleaned that up a little bit and rearranged everything. So we're just gonna snap this together real quick, see how easy it is, and then we'll be back eventually with a first use. But these are all supposed to be quick disconnects and whatnot, so we shall see exactly how this works. Okay, I have not read anything, so this is a total guess. I am guessing quick disconnect goes on to the other quick disconnect, tap goes on to middle, and then your CO2 will eventually screw into here. I do not currently have CO2, so I need to get that to properly test this. But again, what better place to do the unboxing other than a brewery when you camped at a brewery? Like, literally just found this place, spent the night, and yeah, so let's snap this on and see what it looks like. Haha. So that's a little press down. I'm assuming that goes on there like that. And then same for a regulator. Snaps on there pretty easy. Everything snaps on there pretty quick and easy. So, I mean, yeah. And then we just want to take it off. Pops it off. Everything seals just like that. I do know that. Let's take this lid off and look at that. I know this comes with a fill tube, or not a fill tube, I forget what the tube name is, but some kind of tube to help with the flow. Maybe a flow tube, maybe that sounds right. Here's more stuff inside. But basically this just regulates how much liquid can come through at a time so that you don't mess it up. Hey. Another awesome addition that more companies should utilize, stickers. It does not cost you that much money. Throw a sticker of your product in there. If they like your product, they put their sticker on something and people ask about it. It's basically free marketing. Quit spending your money on dumb billboards and stupid shit and do the little things that can matter to some people. But I digress. So that was unboxing everything. So I'm gonna put this all back together super quick and see how quickly and easily it is to do that. And then we're gonna talk about initial thoughts. So we're not gonna time it because that's a little excessive, but throw this back in just like we would. Yes. That's on there. Taps on. Adapter's on. That goes on so much easier than I thought it was gonna, if I'm being fully honest. So that's it. I mean, fill it with your beer or drink of choice, put your CO2 in, figure out your pressure, and you got this thing rolling. So that is simple, easy, and I guess that kind of started my initial thoughts, but let's keep that rolling. So quality looks awesome. Everything feels great. Everything looks great. I do think that fingerprinting might be a slight issue on this, but you probably don't care about that. I just have to keep in mind so that when I do some of my product shots, it looks good. But everything looks solid, feels solid. Nothing feels cheap. Everything pops on and off very smoothly, which is huge. The last thing you want is to have all this stuff just lunky and not working and all that fun stuff. There is a pressure switch. I don't think I mentioned that, but that's just to help you control your pressure. If this is pressurized, you are supposed to decompress before you take off the lid, but you know, that's stuff we'll talk about later. That's my initial thoughts. I mean, this thing looks sweet. They did a little things that matter to some people and me, with the stickers, the good quality manuals and all that stuff. So TrailKeg, you get a excellent grade for initial thoughts. We are going to use it for the first time, and after that we will be back to talk about final thoughts, and we're going to skip to that part. All right, so we've tested the TrailKeg a few times since I last spoke to you, and I think I'm figuring this out quite a bit, and I absolutely love this thing. It is really cool to be able to have carbonated drinks on the go. I have not been able to, unfortunately, test the nitro factors of this yet. I ordered canisters for it, and I ordered the wrong ones on Amazon, so I messed up there. But with the carbonation stuff, it is really cool. But what I will say is it's definitely going to be a learning process. So if you're not overly familiar with kegs and pressurized drinks in general, there's going to be a little bit of waste here figuring it out. So I've gone through probably 4 or 5 of these cartridges just trying to make a couple basic things, most of those being seltzers to test the forced carbonation of this. If you're not testing different things, you're not going to go through them. And if you're just doing beer, I think it's going to be very easy to just keep. It does a phenomenal job at keeping the pressure, especially once you have it plugged in, sealed, and all that fun stuff. So that's not something to worry about. But like I said, it definitely is going to be a learning curve to do some of the fancier things with it. So that being said, be prepared to do a little bit of waste if you're going to be trying to do different things with this. If you're trying to be basic with it, it's going to do its job phenomenal. It's very portable. It's very solid. So this is solid. The lid is what I was expecting to not be solid, if anything, but the entire everything just feels great and has so far worked great, knock on wood. But I'm going to do a quick pour just to show you. This is a lemonade that I made today. I've let it sit for a little bit. Shook it, did all like the forced carbonation stuff, and the first cup was great. So we're going to see how the cup is a little bit after. And yeah, so you get to see one of my first pours from this after it's been set. Awesome. Okay, so if I'm being fully honest, I've been really struggling with the correct pressure for seltzers. So I made a homemade White Claw yesterday, and I was getting way too much foam. So basically it was coming out as straight foam and overpressurized, and then when the foam bubbles would go down, you take a sip of it and it was basically just water. Like there was like a little sparkle taste to it, but that was pretty much it. This now is awesome. So I'm thinking that I had the pressure too high. I'm currently running it between 5 and 6 psi. So if you're going to do a seltzer, boost it up the entire way, as high as it'll go, 20, 25, depending on your cartridges. Shake it, shake it, shake it hard. You should feel the entire liquid go up and down for 30 seconds to a minute. They say 20 to 30 seconds, but go a little bit longer. And then you can let it set. And I've let this set for maybe 20 minutes since I've done that. And this particular one was the best cup I've had come from this so far. So it's actually, it's actually carbonated through the drink and tastes phenomenal, which, I mean, the taste isn't really due to this, but it came out great and it's solid. All that being said, my first impressions with this is if you like to experiment with your different beverages, this is definitely a phenomenal thing to have. And if you like to travel with those beverages, it is very convenient to throw in a backpack, or attached to a backpack, or just carry around by the handle, whatever you're going to do with that. I will say, if you're going to travel, like if I was going to go on a hike, I would definitely probably go for the half gallon. My thought process with the gallon is that most of the trips that I do are group trips, and I want to have more drinks so I can share with people. So that's why I opted for the gallon. It's going to be mostly car camping, not backpacking and stuff. But I definitely want to take this on top of a mountain and do a summit beer out of a draft, because I think a draft summit beer would just be next level. So that's definitely going to be something we do with this. And yeah. So if there's any recipes that you would like to see me try with this, or if you have any questions based on this, make sure you drop them down below. I would love to answer those questions, and stay tuned for other videos just covering other basics with this. I'd like to make them a few more videos because this is a really cool thing, but there's not a ton of info out there as of current, and I think that's a shame. So let's make them some cool videos. Let's get you some cool things to do and try. And if you have any ideas, again, drop them in the comments. I'd appreciate it. I hope you hit that subscribe button to stick around, but if not, I still appreciate you. And until next time, peace.
Yeah.